Hello everybody and welcome to Car Confections. Now I'm standing outside in the nighttime next to a very important car to the Lexus brand. This is the Lexus NX, which has been one of their best-selling SUVs since it first came out. And it has been growing in popularity each and every year. And tonight, what we're going to be doing is going through all the lighting that you can expect to find on the NX. You can see a lot of daytime reviews, but you don't see so many at the nighttime where you go through all of the lighting elements that Lexus is including. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. So we start out all of our night reviews by what happens as you approach the vehicle. Now, unfortunately, not really much happens with the Lexus NX. It doesn't have any approach animations or anything like that, like you see in some other luxury vehicles. That being said, if you unlock the vehicle, as you can see, we'll go ahead and do that. You do have the Arrowhead daytime running lights that will turn on to give you that nice premium ambience. And you'll also have some lights come on in all of the door handles as well as the rear lighting. The interior lights will also kind of flip on. And we have some really cool F-Sport lamps that you'll see as I open up the door. There you go. You can see that we do have the really cool F-Sport illumination there that definitely gets a lot of attention, especially if it's really dark. And you have the illuminated scuff plates right there as well. So some really cool stuff as you get into the vehicle, but we need to go ahead and hop inside and fire it up so you can see what all of the exterior lights look like at night. So let's talk about the exterior. Now, when it comes to Lexus in general, they have a very distinct look with that spindle grille up here in the front. And of course, you're going to be able to see that at nighttime. This is the F-Sport variety, so the sportiest Lexus NX that you can get. So we have that nice grille up here in the front. But let's talk about some of the lighting. We do have very distinct lighting for the Lexus brand. So you'll notice that as far as our headlight unit, we have that Arrowhead daytime running light that I was talking about earlier. That's, of course, a Lexus signature element. Also a Lexus signature element are these triple beam LEDs. Now they are optional here on the Lexus NX. You get a standard projector LED headlight. However, you can option on these triple beams, and these are going to be brighter and have better performance as well as look better at nighttime. They certainly give you that nice premium look that a lot of you guys are looking for. We also have headlamp washers, so that's pretty nice as well. And one of the things that I do want to point out is that we have LED fog lights. Now I did forget to turn them on, but they are down here in the lower part here. These are LED fogs, and you also have cornering lamps. So as you turn the wheel, it will go ahead and illuminate the corners for you to give you that better visibility. I do definitely like that feature. And if you want to see the turn signal, you can see that over here on the right headlamp. It's that top piece, and it is going to be LED if you option on for the triple beam headlamps. Now heading around to the side, we have 20-inch gloss black wheels, our F-Sport branding, and let's talk about our mirrors. So when it comes to this, we have actually fully loaded features, so power folding, we have the turn signal indicator as well as blind spot monitoring, and very important for a night review is the fact that you have auto dimming here on the driver's side. That's actually going to be included standard on every single NX. Just be aware it's just the driver's side, so the passenger side will be blinding you at nighttime. I wish that Lexus had at least done both of the sides since this is a luxury vehicle. Overall vehicle length is about 183 inches for this model. And by the way, if you want to see a daytime review where we talk about all the details of this Lexus NX, you can see that live on the channel already. This is going to be focused on all of the lighting elements because this is a night review. Now, as we head around to the rear of this model, once again, a very distinct look because we have the full-length taillights all the way across the back here on this model. As you can see, they have a nice three-dimensional look to them as well. They look really fantastic. And then we have an LED turn signal indicator that goes right there, an LED reverse light, and we also have LED license plate lighting. So all of the lighting, front and rear on this vehicle, is going to be LED, which I think is a good thing, especially because this is a luxury vehicle. It can tow around 2,000 pounds. And now that I've got it unlocked, let's pop open the cargo area and see how well illuminated this area is. Well, it's going to be pretty good. So we have around 46 cubic feet of maximum cargo capacity. And as you can see, we have some illumination here on the side. So we have an LED bulb there, as well as over here on the right-hand side. And we also have one illuminating on the trunk lid itself. So actually that's pretty good when it comes to lighting for the cargo area. It does do a good job of illuminating, even though we do have the cargo cover installed on this model. So I'm pretty pleasantly surprised by that. Also, you'll notice we have the quite a few options on this particular model. If you want to, pay a couple $100, you can get these cool F Sport and NX branding here in the trunk sill itself. It is a very premium look, and I think kind of elevates the overall experience of this model at nighttime. You'll see the NX one over here on this side, and we also have the available power second row, which is kind of an interesting feature for this segment. It'll go ahead and fold power down, and you can also fold it back up with just the press of a button. That's about a $1,000 option on this model. But I'm sure you're very curious as to what Lexus is including when it comes to lighting on the inside. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, so let's see what the inside looks like. As you can see, when I unlock the vehicle, that's going to go ahead and turn on all of our ambient lighting as well as the dome lighting inside of the vehicle. We already talked about the scuff plate over here on the door that also illuminates, and let's go ahead and hop inside, see what the interior looks like. Now, we do have a little bit of a animation here in the gauge cluster. I will say it's pretty basic looking, and it's also quite laggy, so I wish they'd maybe update that to be a little bit more premium. But as we start the vehicle, you'll notice that the headlights do a cool dip to kind of fancily animate every single time you start the vehicle. And let's go ahead and transition into a first-person POV. All right, so now we've moved into a first-person perspective, so we can look at those individual details. This is your low beam right here. As you can see, it's a pretty bright headlight. And then let me go ahead and flip on the high beams. Those are what your high beams look like. Those are also quite nice, of course, as expected out of a luxury vehicle. You do have auto high beams, and those are standard equipment. I'll go ahead and insert in a video clip of us driving on a country road so you can see how good these headlights are. Overall, they're pretty good headlights. They're certainly not the best headlights that I've ever experienced, but when you option on the triple beams, I think that definitely improves things quite a bit. So I'd give them a, maybe a B+ in overall headlight rating. You also notice that we do have a head-up display. It's kind of hidden by that pole there, but there's a lot of different customizable information. It's a high-resolution head-up display, and I definitely think it looks good at nighttime. Here's your gauge cluster. Like I said, this is only a 7-inch display, and the resolution's just okay. It's a little laggy as well, so I think you'll appreciate the head-up display on this model. And then let's come back to the steering wheel. The steering wheel is going to be nicely leather-wrapped. It's actually power adjusting and heated, which is pretty nice. And as far as the illumination, you'll notice that we have all of these white lights right through here to give you that nice classy look. We also have an F Sport branding right there in the bottom, and over here on the side, you'll notice that all of our buttons are going to be finished in that nice white color to give you a premium look. All of your window switches are also finished in that same white color. And let's talk about the ambient lighting, because you're starting to see some of that when it comes to the door trim here. It's underneath of this trim piece to kind of illuminate right through there. You also have a little bit of lighting where your door releases, as well as some footwell lighting. So you have actually a decent amount of ambient lighting here in the Lexus NX. Certainly, we've critiqued some of the Lexus products in the past about not having very good ambient lighting, but you do have at least some on all 4 of the doors, as well as some footwell lighting. And what I'm noticing as well is that your wireless phone charging tray does also have some matching ambient lighting. Now, you can also customize the ambient lighting inside of the screen itself. And now that I've went ahead and toggled into the menu here, as you can see, you can actually change the color to quite a few different options. Right now we just have it on the blue color, but you also have all these different choices right here. You can make it red if you'd prefer to do that to match the red interior that we have on this model. And you can also set a custom mode as well. So it's pretty customizable, honestly, so I'm glad that Lexus is giving you those details. You can also turn up and down the brightness and do it by specific zones, so you can turn the rear off or the foot well off, depending on what matters most to you, or if you want to make it fully dark in the back for maybe your kids sleeping. Now, let's look at the center console. Here's your center console. You do actually have a little bit of a light right there. It's not a big one, as you can see. It's just one little LED bulb, so that gives you some illumination inside the center console. We have our cup holders right here. Like I mentioned, you do have illumination on your wireless charging tray, and then you also have illumination underneath of there with an illuminated USB port. These USB ports are also going to have illumination as well, so I'm glad that they haven't cheaped out on that. Here's your shifter. You pull to the side and down for reverse, or down for drive, up for reverse. And let's take a look at your backup camera. So this is an $800 option if you want the 360 camera. And overall, the resolution is really good. We've said that in past Lexus reviews. We've said it in Toyota reviews as well. The resolution looks really quite nice. It's crisp even here at nighttime. You just press the P for park. Here's your brake hold stuff back here. And let's talk about overall the rest of the controls. All of those are going to have that nice same white illumination. Your climate controls are actually integrated into the screen itself. They look pretty premium, and you have heated and ventilated seats. The screen is 14 inches on this model. That is an option. You have to pay a little bit extra for that. And the screen itself is nice and high resolution, so it looks great at nighttime. Really no complaints when it comes to the performance of this screen either. You have things like wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto as well. Now up at the top, you'll see that we have an auto-dimming mirror, so that's of course important for a night review, the fact that it's auto-dimming, you're not going to be blinded. It's also the digital camera mirror, so you can just flip that switch and do that. You have your HomeLink remotes right next to that, and let's take a look at the sun visor. Your sun visor lighting is also going to be LED, so I'm glad they haven't cheaped out on that. And let's take a look at the glove box as well. You do have an LED bulb in there to illuminate things, and it is going to be felt lined. Then up at the very top, of course, we have a panoramic moonroof. That's also an option. It's about $500. It has a shade, and it does open up. Your controls up here are going to have a little bit of illumination. As you can see, it's just the text that is illuminated. And then you can turn on the rest of your interior lighting. It is a touch capacitive setup just by pressing on the light itself. Let's go ahead and check out the rear seats. So as you can see, when you open up the rear seats, you do have some dome lighting back here. It's actually going to be kind of located in the cargo area and shine forward, but it definitely makes getting in nice and easy. You can see where you're getting in. Let's go ahead and hop back here. As you can see, we have that same illumination around the trim piecing, so I'm happy that they haven't cheaped out on the rear door trims. You get that same ambient lighting. You also have the same ambient lighting when it comes to your door grab, as well as your window switch. That's what your full interior view looks like at nighttime. And then in the center area, you'll notice that we have heated back seats. Those are an option. Finish in that nice red color. And our USB ports are also going to be illuminated here in the rear, so I'm happy they haven't cheaped out on that. So overall, what do we think of the Lexus NX's cabin at nighttime? Well, it's pretty good. It's certainly not the best option in the class when it comes to interior ambience and making it seem super premium and fancy. However, I am happy that Lexus has included quite a bit of ambient lighting to increase your overall luxury experience. Things like a Mercedes GLC as well as like a Genesis GV70, though, will have a lot better ambient lighting. And guys, that's going to be it for our night review of the 2026 Lexus NX. If you enjoyed watching this night review, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're looking to buy a Lexus NX or any new vehicle, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool to use while dealership negotiating. If you'd like to take advantage of that, as well as things like our monthly payment tool, you can find a link to that down below in our video description, as well as a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, I want to remind you, if you want to check out our full review, we do already have a daytime review where we go through all the details live on the channel, so be sure to check that out. And if you're already a fan and subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies. Good night.